Hello, I'm so excited to be here today because I get to show you some iPad features. I'm Richard Ramos and I'm the Executive Director of Innovation and Learning with the Roosevelt School District. Um, One of our goals this year is to make sure that we provide as much support to parents, guardians, and family members so that way they can support our students in virtual learning. So we're so lucky in Roosevelt as an Apple district, we have one of the best digital platforms in all of the world. But I want you to know that this is just the first episode of many. So we plan to provide you with a variety of videos over the course of the year in order to support you with the iPad. So let's go ahead and begin. First and foremost, I want to show you, I have an iPad here in my hand. I wanted to show you the first feature. The first feature is how to turn the iPad on and off so that way you can preserve the energy that the iPad has. All right, so if you look at your iPad, all right, this is holding it right side up. And I know that yours has, your iPad at home has a case and also has a keyboard, but I took mine out of the case. And so I just want to show you, I have a basic iPad here. If you look at the top right-hand side, there's an on and off switch. I want you to go ahead and explore that on and off switch by pushing that button down for at least 3 seconds. So I'm going to do that here to demonstrate for you, and then I want you to try it at home. So first and foremost, I'm going to push the button down. One, two, three. And I want you to see that there are a couple of icons that appear. This icon up here says that I should slide to power off. So if I push that button and slid it over across the screen, the iPad would power down. But for the sake of the presentation, I'm going to go ahead and keep the iPad on. So I'm going to hit cancel down here at the bottom. All right. So I see my screen, and then I'm going to go ahead and go back to the features, all the application that I have on my iPad. This is the interface, and I simply push this button down here to always return to this screen. All right. So the second feature I wanted to show you today is how to increase the volume. So let's go to a video so that way we can see how to turn the volume up and then how to turn it down. So I'm going to simply go to my internet, and I use Safari. You might use something else at home, but for the sake of this presentation, I'm going to use Safari, and I already have a video from YouTube up, and that video is all about iPad features. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make that larger so that way you can see it on my screen. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and push play, and I'm going to show you where the volume features happen to be. Okay, so let's push play.
Just so we can hear some music.
So I'm going to increase volume.
To get it going.
Upper right-hand side, you should feel some buttons there.
To control your volume.
The first one
use the buttons on the side
is to increase the volume. The one just below that
to turn it up.
Is to turn the volume down and decrease it. Okay, so again, to increase and then to decrease. All right, we're going to leave it increased, and then I'm going to go ahead and stop this video and go back to my home page. All right, so far I've showed you how to turn the iPad on and off, and then second of all, I also have showed you how to increase the volume and decrease the volume. The second feature I want to show you on the iPad is how to increase the text size. It's really important for students in like the younger ages, kindergarten through third grade, so that way they can see text that is larger while they're reading. All right, so there's a couple of places I could go on the iPad. You see my application right here that says settings in the center of my home page, and then on my dock down below, we also have settings there. It looks like a tire with some spokes in the middle or a rim in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and press the one on the dock just so that way I can show you that both will work. So eventually I'll go to this one like later, okay? So go to settings, and then I want to increase my text. And I know that that's under accessibility here. If you see this, this is like, you know, your settings on the left-hand side, and go down a couple of categories, and you're going to see accessibility. Okay, click accessibility by just simply pressing it with your finger, And then you see that it says display text size. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that there, display text size. And what I want is larger text. So I'm going to go ahead, second from the top. Okay, there's larger text there. And I want to make sure that feature is on because it's highlighted in green. That means it's on. I want to show you what it looks like if it's off. If it's off, it is not highlighted, but we want it on. So make sure that it is green, which indicates that the text feature is on. Down here, you see this bar graph. The bar graph indicates how large you want to make the text. Now notice when I make it larger, what happens on the left-hand side as the text increases and goes to the uppercase A. Do you see the increase? All right, so I want you to investigate that and explore at home and then go to decrease. Because my eyes are still pretty good, I'm just gonna leave it at like a pretty much a regular size for me. So that way, I'm gonna put it at like 3 notches over. So that way I'm good and I don't need the text size to be too large for me. So, all right, so that's the third feature. All right, the fourth feature I would like to show you is text to speech. So I'm gonna really quick go back here just so that way I can show you what we're gonna have read to us today. And then we're gonna go to the Safari, which is our internet. And I'm gonna go ahead and X out of that video we watched and go to an article about tigers. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and go to my search engine and I'm gonna push in tigers in the wild and see what article comes up. And I want you to do the same, okay? So right now I'm typing in tigers in the wild in my search engine and I'm gonna go find an article off of the internet. I'm gonna scroll up. Oh, I like this one. 11 facts about tigers in the wild and in captivity. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit that and see what comes up. And you're gonna see an article come up about tigers. The one thing when I scroll up on my screen, I see that there's a lot of like extra words, extra pictures, things that are like overstimulating, especially if I'm a beginning reader, and it might take my attention away. So I want to change that. So up here in the search engine, you'll notice that there's like a lowercase a and an uppercase a. All right. So I want you to press on that, and you're going to see that there's a drop down. I want you to go ahead and press on Show Reader View. Show Reader View changes the text, and so you can see the text. I want you to go ahead and look at this at home. It has changed to like plain text. All right. So that's the article we're going to read today. So go back to your interface by pressing the button at the bottom of your iPad. Go back to the interface and let's go back to accessibility. Remember how I used this settings to get into accessibility the last time? I'm going to use the one at the center of the page this time, okay? So there, we're in accessibility. I'm going to hit that again so that way it takes me back to all of my features. And then this time I'm going to look for spoken content, and that's about 6 down from the top. So spoken content is what I want to go ahead and touch with my finger. All right, and I want to make sure the speak selection is on. Again, it has to be highlighted in green, all right, just like the larger text feature before. But notice down here, there's another bar graph here, and there's a turtle on one side and a rabbit on the other. And I'm guessing you already know what that means. If you go toward the turtle,
speak selection, read selected content.
Notice how slow that was read. That demonstration that just played for us was really slow. Now I'm going to show you, if you were to go ahead and slide that over toward the rabbit, what it sounds like.
Speak selection, read selected content.
All right, so you notice how fast that was. I'm going to try it somewhere in the middle.
Speak selection, read selected content.
So I now have the settings for speech to text set up in my iPad. Now I want to show you why that's important. We're going to go back to Safari, and here's the article that we'd selected off the internet. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and just highlight the first paragraph. So I'm highlighting the first paragraph. And I'm going to slide this bar all the way down. And you're going to notice that some bars pop up. All right. And those bars indicate copy, look up, speak, and share. For the sake of text to speech, I'm going to go ahead and hit speak. And I want you to notice what happens.
Found across the Asian continent, tigers are one of the most beautiful and powerful of the big cats. World Animal Protection works around the globe to protect wild animals like tigers and keep them in their natural habitats instead of allowing them to be subjected to the cruelty of the animal entertainment industry or exotic pet trade.
So what you noticed there was the text was read to us, and it was read to us at an average pace. All right. Also, what you should have noticed is all of the whole sentence was highlighted, and a purple cursor followed each word. And so that's really helpful for people who are learning to read for the first time. And so remember, if you go back into settings, you can control how fast or how slow you want that read. And so I want you to go ahead and explore that feature while you're at home, so that way we can support our students. So that pretty much takes us to the end of this episode, but I wanted to really quick review what we did today. First and foremost, I showed you iPad features, and the first was how to turn the iPad on and off. It's pretty simple, right? Second, I showed you also how to increase the volume and decrease the volume, all right? And then the third feature was all about the text size, how to increase the text size and decrease the text size at a size that's appropriate for you. And then the final thing was I showed you how to set the text-to-speech feature to support students who are learning to read. So I hope these are really helpful for you. Again, our goal is to support our students, parents, guardians, and family members in the virtual learning venture. All right, if you have any questions, we do have a help desk. The help desk phone number is 602-232-4999. And if you want to email us, because that's simpler, the email address is helpdesk@rsdk12az.us. Thank you so much for your attention today. It's been a pleasure serving you. Have a great day. Thanks.